Thinking fourth dimensionally from the premise of truth. Inspired by this quote here from Neville, where he said, "I became conscious of being it. I am still conscious of being it. And I shall continue to be conscious of being it until that which I am conscious of being is perfectly expressed. Yes, I shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass." So, we know certainly that God's name is I Am, Exodus 3:14. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. I represent the children of Israel. I am fundamental reality, God, is perfect, whole, and complete. Therefore, I know that I am perfect, whole, and complete. And I have been created in the perfect image of the Creator. By being still, I know that I am. By being still, you know that I am. Represents love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. And this is how we consciously create the wonderful circumstances that lead to the fulfillment of that which we desire to manifest. A first-class journey to the destination, as he says here. Our attitudes unfold within us in the form of mental conversations. Inner talking from premises of fulfilled desire is the way to consciously create circumstances. So on the journey to manifesting my entrepreneurial successes, which began in 2009, which over the years I created 3 successful businesses, it was the simple act of conscious autosuggestion to be in harmonious relationship with what appears, that changed what appears, to generate a flow-based, blissful, first-class journey to manifesting the vision. So, on the journey to manifesting the vision, what the individual relates to appearances that is not from the premise of truth is revealed to be released. And by that I mean, I am aware of what I relate to appearances. If it is not from the premise of truth, I put off that former conversation, which belongs to what the Bible refers to as the old man. And how do I do that? Well, let's look at an example. Some examples that I received over the years through conversations and also personal examples. An individual is offered a promotion and declines it, citing concerns about their ability to handle increased responsibilities. They might say to themselves, I don't think I am ready for this role, which is very apparent now, as I am aware of what I relate to appearances, that it is untrue. Why do I say it is untrue? Well, it is clear in their statement. They said, I don't think I am ready for this role. Are you saying God is not ready for this role? Because I am is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, wholeness, and completeness. And thus the individual is clearly taking the Lord's name in vain. By associating anything to I am that is not from the premise of truth, that is untrue, and no shame and condemnation. We put off that former conversation. When do we do it? Well, as he says here, now we do it. Now is the accepted time. Now is the day of salvation. It is only what is done now that counts, even though its effects may not be visible until tomorrow. The events and relationships of life are your words made visible. So the individual releases identification by putting off the former conversation to the untrue illusory beliefs that is generating that mental chatter in mind. And they take that promotion and manifest wonderful service and receive a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. And mind is purified from that untrue belief because they became conscious of being it. I am still conscious of being it, as in I am always conscious of being it. I am is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. So to say that I don't think that I am ready for this role is clearly untrue, as I am. God is whole, complete, has everything, and thus the individual has everything, because I and the Father are one. I have been created, you have been created in the perfect image of the Creator, which is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity. And to relate anything to I am that is not from the premise of truth is to identify with delusions, which generate suffering on the journey to being as I am. As I always say, all I truly desire is to be as I am. All you truly desire is to experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, in, on, and as the outer appearances of life as a first-class journey to manifesting your first-class vision. And now is the accepted time. So if thoughts arise in mind that arise from identification to untrue beliefs, that's where they arise from. Be still and release that identification. And you'll witness your inner speech to be from the premise of truth. Because if the individual who genuinely desired to experience a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit, which again is the Robert Millikan autosuggestion Neville shared, if that is what they desired in their career of choice, they are presented with the opportunity and they think inaccurately in relation to that appearance. By being still, the mental chatter clears up. Clarity arises. And from that clarity, they relate ideally to that opportunity. They say, I think now I am ready for this role. I know certainly that I am ready for this role. As I step into this role, I know that I am taking care of everything in relation to what appears in a wonderful, harmonious, mutually beneficial way as I became conscious of being it. And I am still conscious of being it. And I shall continue to be conscious of being it until that which I am conscious of being is perfectly expressed in, on, and as what the individual imagines to be love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity. Yes, I shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. Another example would be a personal example. Avoiding public speaking opportunities. When I started my IT business in 2009, I was very committed to providing IT services, yet there was an opportunity that presented itself in 2010, and that was to teach speed reading workshops for a company called Iris Reading. Paul, the founder of Iris Reading, and I had a conversation on speed reading. If you're interested in that, I'll link in the description to it. So I was presented with this opportunity. And part of my first-class journey to manifesting my first-class vision, which was my IT business to success, and since then I had built 3 successful businesses. The first business, I knew that cultivating public speaking skills, direct response marketing skills, copywriting skills, consultative selling skills was my way. And I realized then that the opportunity was presented to cultivate these skills, and also as an opportunity to release identification to the untrue beliefs. What do I mean by that? See, the individual may say, I am not the best person for this untrue way of thinking. Why do I say that? Because the opportunity was presented as part of the bridge of incidents to manifesting the vision. Yet doubt appeared in mine, suggesting that I am not the best for this, which again, clearly we see is untrue. I am not. I am love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity. That's truth. So I released that identification and proceeded with teaching these workshops. And not only did these workshops contribute to manifesting a higher degree of ability in consultative selling, copywriting, and direct response marketing, and also public speaking, which then I did many presentations in my IT business, including one that was key in partnership for one firm that took over a number of clients when I transitioned in 2013. Yet at times, I was identified with untrue thinking, which was an opportunity to release those untrue identifications. And by that I mean, I and the Father are one. I am. God's name is I am. Exodus 3:14. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And I am is, fundamental reality is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity. And as I and the Father are one, to say that I am not confident that I can deliver is an untrue statement. The opportunity presented itself as a step to actualizing my vision. Yet I was resisting the opportunity, which again, no shame and condemnation. Be still and release that untrue way of thinking. And then I see clearly what to think in relation to that appearance. And so I moved forward with the initiative, and mind became purified from that untrue belief. And not only did that contribute to manifesting success in my first business, Paul and I, over the years, Paul, the founder of Iris Reading, have done a number of business deals, which have generated a number of revenue streams to manifest specific number goals. So when I look at number goals that I've set in my business, which I've manifested, they have been a result of multiple streams of income. That's the way that I did it. That might be your way. It might not be your way. You know your way. So some way, somehow, they all contributed. And all I did was practice walking by faith. I remain walking by faith because I am aware of what I relate to appearances. And if it is not from the premise of truth, I release thinking that way. I don't think that way anymore because it is untrue. It belongs to the old man. And I renew my mind by thinking from the premise of fulfillment, from peace, from love, from happiness, from bliss, to be in harmonious relationship with appearances. As he said, our attitudes unfold within us in the form of mental conversations or self-talk, inner talking from the premise of fulfilled desire. Why does the individual desire? Well, the individual seeks fulfillment. Love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity. Nothing wrong with that. Inner talking from the premise of fulfillment, knowing that I am love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, is the way to consciously create circumstances, the harmonious first-class bridge of incidents to manifesting your vision. That's what I did. I did not accept what was untrue on the journey to actualizing my vision. Perhaps that would have generated a force-based, stress-based, resistance-based journey to manifesting my vision. I would still manifest my vision. Nothing holds me back from manifesting my vision Only God gives and fulfills desires. What I choose to do also on the journey is to release identification to the delusions that are revealed in the confessions of I am not love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, to experience a first-class journey to the first-class destination. So let's look at another example. A salesperson avoids communicating with an ideal client because they are identified with a doubt, and the doubt is their ability to generate a harmonious deal, mutually beneficial deal. And so they may think, I don't think I have what it takes to win them over, which is an untrue belief. Untrue belief, because I and the Father are one. To generate separation between I and I am by thinking that I don't think I have what it takes is to generate the illusion of what is referred to as the fall of man. The illusion of separation between you and God. There is no separation. God gives and fulfills desires and generates love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity in, on, and as the journey to actualizing the vision. The individual simply puts off the untrue self-talk and realizes that in, on, and as a first-class journey to manifesting their first-class vision. So it is crystal clear then, as they said, I don't think I have, which is untrue. I have what it takes is from the premise of truth. And certainly, as they realize that they have what it takes, it appears, I've seen this many times, the individual then shows up to the conversation with self-talk from the premise of truth, knowing that I have what it takes to generate a mutual benefit outcome. And sure enough, they generate a mutually beneficial outcome. They acquire the client in a mutually beneficial agreement. Why is that? Because certainly, true nature is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, and thus it appears in, on, and as harmonious relationships on the journey to manifesting the business success. If you look at all businesses, we see many relationships formed along the way. Relationships are formed ideally from the premise of love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, and thus are experienced accordingly on the journey as a first-class journey to the destination. To imagine otherwise is to persist in delusions. And by that I mean, I am, truth is. There's no separation between I am and love. There's no separation between I am and peace. There's no separation between I am and fulfillment. There's no separation between I am and happiness. There's no separation between I am and bliss. I am bliss, Sat Chit Ananda, truth, consciousness, bliss. So knowing that fundamental reality is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, it is crystal clear as I am aware of what I relate to appearances on the journey to manifesting the vision. And if it's not from the premise of truth, we put off that from our conversation. And as those untrue beliefs are released by bringing awareness to these untrue ways of thinking, so do the appearances that are generated from those illusory ways of thinking appear differently. What do they appear as? They appear to be from the premise of truth. Love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity. In, on, and as a wonderful flow-based journey to manifesting your vision. So I trust you found this video to be helpful. Let's conclude this with an auto-suggestion to further encourage. You could say, I am aware of what I relate to appearances. As I became conscious of being, love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, by being still. And I am still conscious of being it. Love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. And I shall continue to be conscious of being love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, until that which I am conscious of being, truth, is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, is perfectly expressed Yes, I shall decree a thing as a symbol of love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, as a symbol of God, and it shall come to pass. And in, on, and as the journey of it coming to pass, I relate ideally two appearances, to generate appearances of love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, prosperity, in, on, and as a first-class bridge of incidents to manifesting my first-class prosperity. If you would like a copy of this mind map, the link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk with you soon. Take care.